Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. We've been dealing with rounds and rounds of severe weather, reports of powerful tornadoes, storms that we are tracking, and possibility of storms that may bring strong to severe weather. You can see right here, it's actually south of Jacksonville. This line of storms luckily is on the move. Tampa, it's not too far away. Same thing for you in Orlando. Also, it extends back up into North Carolina, too. Already some damage reports coming out of this line. We've had St. Mary's reporting wind damage, tree down on Ready Street. That was happened just overnight about 2 a.m. And Lake City reported winds of over 50 miles per hour. All right, so here's the thunderstorms approaching the Orlando area. By the way, Orlando, I just got to mention your temperatures yesterday. You know how hot it was? No one in here can guess because we were just talking about it, but it was 96 degrees. So that's the kind of air, I mean, hot and humid yesterday, and that kind of air is still in place. These thunderstorms will come in, the front will come through and give us a break from that. Tampa, some showers just off to your north right now. All right, so let's time this all through. You know, once we get through 8 o'clock, things are improving very quickly in Jacksonville and Gainesville and St. Augustine, Daytona, in between there, Melbourne, expecting this line to move on through, and it's going to keep moving south. And then behind it, you're done. When it's through, you're done, and we'll see improving weather for you in Tampa by afternoon, Orlando by afternoon as well. West Palm Beach, you'll have a couple of showers possible this morning in Miami. It's going to take all day for the showers to get here, but you might see a few thunderstorms by the end of the day. So Tampa, look at this. I mean, this morning you're not jogging on Bayshore Boulevard, but you know, maybe lunchtime you are. Temperatures are going to be cooler. We'll be in the mid 70s today as opposed to those upper 80s. Orlando, same thing. No mid 90s for you today. No record breaking. By 9 o'clock, the storms are out, and then we're up in D.C. All of the active weather could be impacting your drive. Also, the baseball game today, the Nationals and the Marlins at 4 o'clock. Let's look at where this rain is going. So we have still a lot of moisture. It's all now pushed off to the east, but it's focused right here on the mid-Atlantic. Still some very strong jet stream winds diving through that area, and that's why we're going to have the risk for severe weather from Wilmington right up through Norfolk and Virginia Beach up to D.C. and Philadelphia. Right now we've got showers, and for the most part here up from, say, New York to Philly, we've got an east wind keeping us pretty stable, but keeping us pretty wet as well and coolish with that rain sticking around. Let's take you through the next couple of hours here. This is our future radar, and you can see D.C., the chance for showers, the chance for thunderstorms getting in through the late morning, continuing through about lunchtime. We'll see that into southeastern Virginia and eastern North Carolina as well. And as we get through the afternoon, some showers are still possible, and again, some possible storms could be strong to severe. But once we sort of get the main event off the coast, I think we're looking better, and it's much more scattered in activity. Torcons are still up for today. They're threes. I mean, yesterday we had 6s and 7s. Today it's 3, Raleigh, Richmond, and D.C., a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon. Hail is going to be the main risk, maybe some gusty winds as well with these thunderstorms. All right, so Raleigh, to time it out for you, it's this morning. We look at your forecast, the showers and storms in the area. We'll get rid of it by the end of the commute, maybe even before the commute is over, and then it's a blustery day ahead. Temperatures cooler as well, only in the 60s. And you know, technically we don't calculate wind chill when temperatures in the 60s, but you'll feel it. It's going to knock at least 5 degrees off your temperature. D.C., we keep the rain around a little bit longer here. We'll have scattered showers and possible thunderstorms right through about mid-afternoon. And then after that, a few rain showers. It's off and on, but it's still in the forecast. Even getting into the dinner hour, it's not out of the question that you still see a shower at that time. All right, let's take you coast to coast and check out your Thursday morning weather headline. You might need to put that tarp over the field so you don't have melted snow on the ground for the Detroit Tigers home opener tomorrow against the Boston Red Sox. Oh, it's going to be chilly too, though. Look at these winter storm watches up. Grand Rapids, Cadillac, Michigan, Saginaw, Michigan, all under winter storm watch. Detroit, you are not, but not out of the question that you could see some sleet or some snowflakes mixing in. All right, so here's our parent surface low, upper level low hanging back a little bit. Lots of moisture coming back into this and then wrapping around as the cold air comes in behind. So through the day, you'll start with rain, but you could change over to some snow in lower Michigan. You're already seeing that happening actually right now across the middle part of the state. And I'm betting that some of this is sleet mixing in too, even where it's showing up as bright oranges and reds on the radar. You know, Chicago, there's a chance that we get some snow mixing in, not necessarily likely. Our temperatures have stayed mild enough, not that it's warm, but it's warm enough that we won't get a lot of snow. As we get through the day today, and again overnight when temperatures do cool down even more in Ohio and western Pennsylvania and western New York, we will see that mixing with and then changing over to some snow. Coming up, a week of dangerous weather in the south finally winding down today. Nice couple of days off from thunderstorms, which will be good. Today we got to get through. We've got thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic. We still have some storms in Florida. It won't be as busy as a severe weather day as we saw yesterday. Still rain up here through the Midwest and still some gusty winds. And that's going to extend into the Northeast as we get through tonight and tomorrow. And then that snow, of course, that's just like winter. Come on, we're done with you. But we will get that in western Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio. All right, still blustery tomorrow all the way down to the south. Miami, you go from 90 today to 80 tomorrow. And then we look at the weekend forecast, running a little below average in the east, but nice. And then we look at the temperatures in the plains starting to heat back up again, 85 degrees for you in Dallas. And by Sunday, we're back up into the mid-70s in Chicago, New York City. You have a beautiful Sunday coming your way. But here comes our next system. At least it's not really going to bring too much weather for the weekend. And we've got your travel at 20 and 40 past the hour, where storms will impact your morning. And welcome back to AMHQ Early. Severe storms still lingering in parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic. So let's get them out to the bus stop this morning. We do have thunderstorms happening right now in Florida. So Daytona Beach, Orlando, down towards the Tampa area where that tornado watch is still in effect. We do still have some thunderstorms. So let's take a look. Right now you can see in the Tampa area, it's actually south of Tampa in St. Petersburg where we have a thunderstorm coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. This one may have some hail with it or winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. It does appear to have weakened a little bit as it's moved in over the water. But for Pinellas Park in St. Petersburg and Boca Ciega until 5:45 local time, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and this would include 275 for travelers as well this morning. All right, but it's this morning that we're watching this as we take a look at the future radar for today. Just to give you a good sense of the timing, this is going to sag south, and as we get through the morning, I mean 8 o'clock already. Look, Tampa, we're pretty much done. Daytona Beach, we're pretty much done as well by 8 o'clock. By 9-10 o'clock, Melbourne, you're done. Fort Myers, this is coming through as well. It's going to take all afternoon to get all the way down into South Florida, West Palm Beach by about 2-3 o'clock. So now when your kids get off the bus, you've got some thunderstorms that you got to worry about, and getting into the Miami area this afternoon as well. The fact that this front is coming through will actually take down our temperatures today. So Orlando, if you're in town, you're doing the theme parks, morning early storms, they'll be out of here, and it won't be quite as hot as we had yesterday either. So that's the good news there. It was 96 degrees in Orlando yesterday. Tampa, it was 88 degrees yesterday. We're not going to be that today. We've got temperatures mid to upper 70s, best case there, and sunshine back out by lunchtime. Orlando, our sun back out for our lunchtime as well. In fact, we're pretty much dry after about 9-10 o'clock this morning. So improving forecast for you pretty quickly. Here we could see some thunder this weekend. We're going to get a break. After today's storms in the mid-Atlantic and the southeast, we will get a nice break from the thunder, not from the weather. The weather never gives us a break. We take a look at this forecast. Today thunderstorms mid-Atlantic, rain farther north. We'll see that up into Boston. It's going to be a chilly rain at that. Chicago, a chilly rain for you as well. And then as that cold air comes in, we'll change over to some wet snow. No big accumulation, a lot of it melting on the road. But for those of you in Pittsburgh, we are not done with winter yet. Buffalo, Erie, Cleveland, you guys all are in the same boat. Southeast, still windy tomorrow, but much cooler. Temperatures are going to stay only in the low 60s. And then by Saturday, we start the rebounding, especially across the plains. Temperatures mid-80s in Dallas. We got a windy day, and it's a south wind, and that's going to bring the warmth and the moisture back up through the plains. So when our next system starts coming on in, and it's a pretty potent western system, actually, that dives in, energy within the jet stream will help get our next system going. There is the chance that by late day, we could see some thunderstorms, perhaps across the high plains, but it's not a big risk just yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. And meanwhile, the rest of the east and the south looks good for your Sunday. Coming up, a quadruple out there still this morning here into parts of Florida. So this is where the tornado watch is left, Daytona Beach to Orlando. But honestly, I think the tornado threat is really diminishing. We do still have some thunderstorms, though, out there and around the Tampa area, especially actually south of Tampa towards St. Pete. That's where we're tracking thunderstorms this morning. And then we go up to the Jacksonville area where you had some stormy weather overnight. We're not quite done with the showers yet, but we're almost done. A few more showers left to come through. St. Mary's reported some wind damage on Reddy Street. That was at 2:15 local time. And then Lake City had 52-mile-per-hour winds about 2 a.m. as well. Here's the current radar. And again, it's just south of Tampa, the St. Pete area. You guys are dealing with this storm. It may have had some hail, and it still might, actually, although it has weakened somewhat. So the warning was allowed to be dropped. Orlando, just to the north and east, we have thunderstorms as well. We'll see this all move south as we get through today, and it's moving fairly fast. So by the end of your commute, the rain is over. I mean, Jacksonville, pretty much before the commute really gets going, you guys are doing much much better. Around Daytona and Melbourne by about 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we get the storm south of there. West Palm Beach, it's coming in after lunchtime this afternoon, and then we'll see some thunderstorms approaching Fort Lauderdale and Miami by the time we get to the 4 or 5 o'clock hour. But then the front comes through, brings big temperature changes. Do you know how hot it was yesterday? I know if you were here, you know, but if you weren't here, it was in the upper 80s in Tampa. It was in the mid 90s in Orlando, 96 degrees to be exact. So these thunderstorms are coming through with a front, and the front will clear us out. We'll get some cooler temperatures in the mid 70s, and that's it for a high temperature today in Tampa. Orlando too, you'll be much cooler. No 96 today, no record-breaking high temperatures. Orlando thunderstorms through about 9 o'clock this morning, but you go out to the theme parks, no big deal. We got temperatures by 10 o'clock that are in the mid 70s and warming up to the mid to upper 70s, and the sun is out by lunchtime. All right, let's talk more about